Hello, this is the top 5 channel on ours. There are places on the planet where animals can be found looked after like kings, and we're talking about they are wild animals, and domestic ones. Even people would envy the creatures you food dish temple in India. If look here, you will see the picture causing non-weak cognitive dissonance. A huge number of rodents run around among people, and do whatever they want. The flow of people endlessly brings them food gifts as offerings, and all because of these small scavengers. Temple visitors worshipped by black rats. Over 6,000 of black rats live in the food dish temple. Local residents protect them, believing that rats incarnate souls prematurely dead children. That is, they believe that after the death of children, their souls move in the rat. Then when the rat dies, she reborn into a human again. Flower for the pigeons to see how all the gifts goes to the black rats. Rat enjoy their high status, and so confident in themselves that they even drive competitors for pigeons to eat. Have to carry food from these exalted ones, creatures right from under the nose of food here in bulk if you just evade the rats. But it's easier said than done. Males box and fight each other for female rats, and they chase each other everywhere after each other, creating sheer chaos. They are not here. There is no one to fear. They are given plenty of water, bed, and provide a place for reproduction. Yes, so sometimes the number of individuals in this temple reaches 20,000. This is real rat paradise, of the best place on the planet for them. The floor of the temple simply does not exist, specially heated so that at night in the cold season the rats did not freeze. You may have heard about the famous experiment Universe 25, where four mice tried to create ideal conditions life, but in the end, supposedly from a good life, they all died out. Today around this experiment, many myths appeared, and the reality is that the experiment was performed incorrectly. That's why mice died out. But in this you don't see anything like this in a temple here. Really ideal conditions. Really smell in this temple is, to put it mildly, not very. The floor is enhanced by rat excrement, and just one person behind them is everything. Removes the parishioners' belief in reincarnation. It's very strong that they never deal with rats, treated like mere rodents. Some here eat and drink with this man calls them rats, small children, and feed the rats first before eating the temple itself. In the kitchen, Brahmins constantly prepare food for rats. Rodents try everything during cooking. If you want to visit this place and for tourist purposes, do not forget to bring food with you, because you come here with empty-handed is considered bad manners. Well, and don't forget to donate to temple. And by the way, in this water that they drink, rats, some parishioners then wash hands someone's face like holy water. Some even take a sip. Please pay attention. Inside the temple people walk barefoot so that God forbid you accidentally step on like a rat, but at least you can feel it during. Nevertheless, accidents here of course they happen. If there is a rat in the temple runs down your leg, it is considered that this is fortunate, but if you accidentally step on a rat, it's bad luck anyway. For chaos. Next we have the Monkey Kingdom in Thailand. I'm a famous temple, and how to prank iodine itself in the very center of the city. Alaburi. Living here is the ultimate dream. Here places where the kids can play, but the main thing is daily food delivery right to the door. Look what they are like here, covered with chic steel and service. That monkeys should be treated like kings because they are considered descendants of the revered Hanuman, Hindu monkey god. Therefore locals take care of food for them. Cabbage, if you don't like it, take an orange or a banana. And for lovers of self-service, from there's even a lot of good old grass lawn. Before visiting this place, and as a tourist, I advise you to remove everything that you can rip off: glasses, scarves, wallets, cap, rings, chains, earrings. Everything can sparkle in the sun and attract attention of monkeys. Outflow of curious cases. There was a lot here. These are still mittens, though they don't need it, because the monkeys here have such a serene and prosperous life. Well, and if you want to have a secured future, then you need to learn new things, skills, and promising professions. And in this matter there is nothing better than IT. Most relevant, highly paid profession. Login date science. You only look at the number of open ones for yourself. Vacancies with an average salary of 250-300,000. Data site. Everything related to data, and they're processing such specialists in a large quantity needed by any company, from startups, from 2 people to huge ones, corporations. So here's the date site. It's simple. Login. for everyone you can become to such specialists. Regardless of education, age, and experience. For this we recommend the course on Do the Sense of Skill Factory. There will be a maximum on the course practice sessions with experts from Yandex and NVIDIA, and Arch support for mentors on all stages of training, internships, hackathons, and individual preparation for employment. For a new job, you can get a job in 5 months. This is a very convenient learning format where you can regulate the load and pace yourself. You can take a break if you want rest in favor of the Skill Factory says their leading position in the training market. These professions and numerous positive feedback from students is confirmed. Follow the link to description right now and leave application, and valid for channel viewers. Maximum discount of 45%. Promo code Top5. Street in India seems impenetrable labyrinths of grey concrete, but if you get close to China and one of largest cities of India in the eyes, the wild parrot will rush into the green spot. In this huge city, one person carved out a corner for nature. 15 years ago, Joseph C. Iker saw how parrots searched in vain for food on the street city after a powerful tsunami. It hurt. He gave them rice. They all flew in new birds, and every day he gave them everything more and more rice. Now every day, and his daughters turned the roof of the house into dining room for birds, for 4,000 of birds that eat here from morning to evening, slowly replacing each other for necessary preparations. Joseph every one day rises at 5 a.m. at 6 is already pouring feed. When the birds fly, Joseph spends almost half for parrot food. He has been buying his salary for 15 years. For them 25 kilograms of rice and poultry. They don't miss feeding. They do it regularly. They arrive 2 times a day. Joseph not only saved the bird from certain death, but also brought it back to the city, a piece of nature. Sometimes in India you have to not only feed the birds handsome, but also caring for the sick. So it turns out that the whole life of this amazing man is now spinning around parrots. As he says, this world created not only for people. Everyone is important. We are actively displacing living creatures, nature, but Joseph helped the whole populations. His example shows that even a resident of 10 million in a city can change the lives of migrating cranes. Too benefited from the kindness of the Indians' residents. The cranes flew over 3,000 kilometers to get here too. In the past, many of them would have scattered throughout all over India, but in ours there are 9,000 of these birds living in wetlands. Prefer to gather in the heart city desert of all places on earth. Would be here. You definitely didn't expect to see them circling over the city. Hechan waiting signal, and then downstairs in the territory fenced with barbed wire. Local a resident scatters grain like pigeons. They usually skip the free lunch even though it's an offering is not intended to attract residents. Cranes and these guests, they are so happy. Never these usually shy birds land near the townspeople to get your treats from the locals. They each appreciate the return of the cranes' day. They scatter grain to feed. There never a brief stop in the desert has now become a place where you can spend the whole topic. The cranes even changed their ways migration to fly to this their desired place. For decades they feed here, and they know what they will find. A safe harbor in the very center of this. Cities in the heart of the desert are now here. So many birds flock that they each consume 5,000 kilograms a day. This site was built for grain, their protection, and on the way 2 is waiting behind the fence. Everyone knows when the crane shift is when it's lunch time. Whoever gets enough inside, they will change, jumping over the fence in places, and will allow the second shift to sit at the table. In this completely unexpected place, you can witness one of the greatest bird performances on earth. Our collection happens only through devotion. Local residents to these birds, but in Morocco's inhabitants have come up with a not easy way feed the birds, but also get from it mutually beneficial. City of Fes, these pigeons live. It's like in paradise. They are constantly fed and given a place to stay overnight. But that's not all. Free pigeons pay all. Honestly, pigeons produce goods, which is very prized in Fez. Litter key ingredient for the ancient method. Leather dressings. Ammonia in droppings soften leather and imparts a tannic characteristic smell. This method is used more thousands of years. For this soft skin, traders continue to make their way. The confusing streets of Fez is why its inhabitants are so strongly attached to these city. Birds benefit from everything moving to Canada to the province of New Scotland, where the retired officer James Blackwood has already over 25 years feeds the raccoons that live in local forests. They never miss, the meal comes every day, an evil scion. They rush to their heart's content, and they have a menu here very diverse, and James does not regret money for food for these cute creatures. Raccoons get sausages, dog food, whipped cream, grapes, and sandwiches with peanut butter to care for raccoons. James once started this with his wife. It was her idea, but in 2003 a woman died of cancer before the death of her husband. James asked him to continue to take care of the notes. Canadian still fulfills his promise to his wife. First, no more came to feast 2 or 3 animals a day, and now there may be up to 30 raccoons at first fed peanut butter, but gradually new chicken dishes were added to the menu: sausages, bananas, grapes, dog food, and apple pie slices. Animals already. James has long been accepted as one of their own. Any fear climb onto his shoulders, and kneeling and begging for more treats. James Black wanted to put an end to traditions after the death of one of the raccoons, which he fed for 13 years. However, the raccoon and continued to come for lunch, and men couldn't ignore it, so he continued to take care of animals. James knows all the raccoons by name, which he himself came up with a video for them about how James feeds the animals on. Hundreds of thousands are collected in the backyard views, and sometimes tens of millions. The name of his YouTube channel is translated like a raccoon whisperer. According to James, fans of the channel have already suggested more than once he has money and gifts, but his Canadian refuses to accept them. He calls subscribers instead donations to services closest to them. Animal protection. We moved to American state of Maine. We're walking through the forest. You might come across something like this interesting picture. Good people set up a deer feeder right in the middle of wild nature here. Every day feed animals approximately 230 kilograms of oats a day to help support the whitetail population. Deer feed here in harsh winter starts from mid-December and continues until early April. Some deer have been coming here for more than 10 years.